Well, hello and good evening to everyone. I know you're like, why is she on now? But you just never know when I'll pop in, pop on, and all that good stuff. Because I usually have something great I want to talk about. And so I'm Dr. Julia Royson, especially for those that are not necessarily friends with me, but we're friends. We'll be friends very shortly. And you, someone to share this video with you, and you're like, who is that? I don't know that lady. Well, I'm Dr. Julia Royson, the owner of BK Royson Publishing, Royal Media and Publishing, and the Book Business Boss Consulting, where we, all of those companies, help you get your message to the masses, turn your words into wealth, and be a book business boss. So, a little bit of background about me. I have written 90, I think I'm at 93 books right at this moment. Um, BK Royston Publishing is 16 years old. Royal Media and Publishing will be 8 years old in October. And the Book Business Boss has been in existence for 3 years. So I'm very thankful and grateful that Book Business Boss is officially a trademark, a registered trademark as of November 2023. So I'm super excited. So the book business has been pretty much my whole life. I'm a retired educator, I'm a retired librarian, not only just in academic settings, but in corporate and law, medicine, um, a multiplicity. I've had a long career and in the information services industry because I've done not just the straight, just I'm librarian putting books, but information management. So you know how God works. He just keeps moving you around in what he called and put the gifts down in you. And so I am moving more toward, and it's just a part of my repertoire in the consulting arena. And so I'm able to assist you with that after 16 years in this game. People say, do you coach? Do you consult? Absolutely. Absolutely. But today I really want to talk to you about, are you ready to be a publisher? And so the reason why I say that, let me take you all the way back. So 2007, wrote the very first book. It is a book of poetry. And hold on, I think I can grab it real quick. I can. So this is my very first book, the cover, everything. I still have it. This is the very first book that I released in, let's see what the copyright's on it. I think it's 2007, 2008, 2007. Okay. So that's the very first book. Don't I look so young? Yay. The very first book. And from 2007, it was because I did more singing then. If you've known me more 10 or 15, 20 years, I sang since I was like 8 years old. So from 2007, it was a one woman show. I released the book. I sang, read my poetry, did a whole special shout out to Joe Logan, who was the musician I sang on stage and he played, and it was incredible. Recording and audio, DVD. Yeah, I know. If any young person mentioning that's that little round thing. DVD and a CD. Oh my gosh, I found a stack of those. I'm like, what am I gonna do with them things? But it's streaming now. But and I was good. I was singing, I was selling CDs, I was selling now my book. Yay! And the cover of the DVD, the cover of the CD all looked like this. But people were asking me the question that some of you may be being asked, whether it's your first book, your fifth book, your 10th book. And probably at my first book, I'm like, do I want to publish you? I'm like, publish it. This is my first book. Are you serious? This is the first one. Are you serious? You over the top? You asking me that? I'm not experienced enough. I don't know enough. But they did. And for 2007, 2008, probably toward the end of 2008, There was a friend who said, I want you to publish my book. Now she didn't ask me if I wanted to. She said, I want you to publish my book. And I'm like, are you sure? You just want me to teach you how and show you how? No, I don't want to learn. Now, what do you do when somebody says, I don't want to learn? You think, well, but yeah, you do. Don't you want to learn so you can be independent and do it yourself? That's not always the case. But I tell you the number one thing, the number one reason is because that people are asking you to publish your book, especially even if you just had no intention of publishing more than one. Number one thing is you did it. You did it. It's there. I tell people all the time, if I help you write your book, ghost write, put it together, all of that good stuff, you're gonna have a book. If you pay me money, you're gonna have a book. Yeah, you're gonna have a book. I'm gonna make sure you have a book. One way or the other, we're gonna have a book. And because I did it, and it was there and physical, and they signed it and they bought it, and then yay! It's like, okay, you can do that for me. So my question to you tonight: are you ready to be a publisher? Yes or no? Are you ready to go to that next level? And I can almost guarantee you 9 out of 10 times, if you have one book out and it's on Amazon, somebody somewhere is going to ask you, can you help them? Somebody. Why? Because the number one reason is you did it. You've already done it. So you can't say, oh, I've never done that before. No, the book is here. The physical proof is there. So that's number one reason why someone would ask you that. And for 2 solid years, I said no. Oh, girl, no. Oh, no. I just did that for me. I don't even know how many books I'm going to write. I'll probably one or two. Probably then, 2007, I probably only said one or two. Now I'm at 93. But the number one reason why people are asking you is because you did it already. You have the physical book there. It's in your hand. It's not like it's imaginary and girl, one day I'm fitting to and one day I'm going to and you standing in the prophecy line and they prophesy over you a book and you fall out and they throw the sheet over you. Okay, no. It's actually here. And you sold copies and got money. So number one, your book is done. You may not only have but one, but are you ready to publish somebody else? Are you ready to be a publisher? Are you ready to help somebody else? That's a question you have to ask yourself. Number two, besides you already did it, number two, they know you. They know you. People do business with people generally. This is generally. They know, like, and trust. Now, there are people who hook up that don't even like each other, but they have the same goal. They have the same aim. They have the same, whether it's a good goal or a bad one, they know each other. They may not like each other, but, they trust each other to get the job accomplished. But number one, you did it. Number two, they know you. They have a connection with you, whether they don't have to be related to you, but if they were at your book signing or not, they know you. And they were like, she can help us. Yeah, because she's already done it. Girl, she has a book. Did you see it on Amazon? Did you see it with a live stream? Did you see it? Girl, I saw it. They know you. And then number three, they need help. They need help. They've never done it before. You've already done it. And so they're like, they can help us because they've done it before. I saw your book. I bought your book. Now they can help us do it. But can you? Do you want to? Whether you had another company do it for you, or whether you were traditionally published and you had an agent and all of that, or whether you self-published, did it all on your own, or whether you had an independent publisher such as myself to help you along the way and help you along the process. When they search Amazon and they have your name in there, I tell people, I'm not going to Amazon, put in Julia A. Royston, and you'll see my books there. Go to JuliaRoystonStore.com. There they are there too. They need your help. But next is you have a decision to make. You decide. You get to decide whether you yes or whether you no. Whether you're registered with the state you live in or not, it's still a decision that you have to make. There's still, um, because I didn't go into this creating a for-profit business or surround it. I did not go into this thinking that I would, God would tell me to create a nonprofit surrounding this, or, during the COVID days, excuse me, had a lot of time on my hands. I'm like, oh, okay. Found out about the nonprofit process and did that too. But I have decisions to make. Definitely decisions to make. Because I've already done it. People know me. They're asking me. They need my help. But I have a decision to make. Do I want to say yes or do I want to say no? Okay, so when I finally said yes to the very first person in 2009, I knew besides that one book, I had some educating to do, because I had only published one book. Maybe I had worked on the second devotional by then, because I've only really done one poetry book. And then the second one was a devotional. So I had some training to do. I had some educating myself to do. Now, I was still around a whole lot of books. I was still a school librarian. So it's not like, I didn't know anything about books, hadn't read thousands of books. But that process of moving from an author writing a book to someone who publishes a book to now helping someone else is a process, is a journey. There's steps to it. Other people, fall into it differently. I've known people who, like me, somebody asked them and they didn't even get paid. They just, well, I got paid my first time, but but somebody asked them and they just helped them because they wanted to. They didn't look at it as a business. They didn't look at it in that light. They just wanted to help a friend out, do something they had dreamed of doing and always wanted to do. But then there are other people, such as me, who have said no because they wanted to train themselves. They've gotten a coach, they've gotten a mentor, they've taken a course, they looked on YouTube, they went to a conference, they have done things to get in order to be better. But that's a decision you individually have to make. That's something that you have to know. I've just published one book. Am I ready to publish somebody else? Am I ready to be a publisher? Or even if I'm not a registered publishing company, am I even ready to help somebody else self-publish? And literary services. So literary services, you can do little parts of the process. You can say, I just want to edit and just be an editor, or I just want to format, or I just want to lay out, or I just want to do cover designs. That's all a part of the publishing journey. Or I want to review, so some of that is literary services, as opposed to being a full service publisher, go from beginning all the way to the end. And even, a lot in the middle, and even beyond the book being on the shelf. And people have asked me, they say, Julia, we can self-publish. I said, exactly. Why would we publish with you? Because of 16 years of experience. That's me. That's me. Good, bad, ugly, success, failure, mistakes, fall down, bump on my head. I get back up. It's great. Put the Band-Aid on, dust myself off, and I keep moving. And I learn from that. And I hopefully am every day getting better and better, because the literary industry is like any other industry. It advances, it keeps going, it changes, technology changes. You can ask any of the major publishing houses in New York over the last 10 to 15 years how much change has happened. And if you're really going to be serious about it, if you're really going to be a part of this literary industry, you got to keep up with it. You got to learn about it. You've got to hone your skills. The first books I published, I'm like, oh, what was I thinking? But I was new. And the person took a chance on me, and I took a chance on me, but I was I was in constant learning mode, and I wanted to be better, and I wanted to be greater, and I wanted to do it better, because not only anything, it was my reputation, and somebody was paying me. But some people don't care about that. Some people just will throw anything out there. They won't make changes when we find errors. They won't call back. They'll ghost you. Everybody's work ethic, everybody's character and integrity is totally different. So you have some decisions to make. You have to decide. Now, some of you listening to this or even watching the replay, they're like, oh, I'm not interested in books and writing books, but Mary is down the street, or James said he was thinking about writing a book. Share this with them. Because whether you say no or whether you say yes, somebody's going to ask you. Somebody is going to inquire. You did it. Why can't you do it for me? Well, you know me, girl. You know me, dude. I need help. Can't you help me? And then you have a decision to make. You have to decide. You have to determine whether you are going to take that next step. Now, speaking of steps, I am super excited to continue to invite you, and please share it. Please mark it on your calendar. Please, if you've ever even thought about it, even after we have this event and this live stream on May 16th, and you say, "Whew, I'm glad I went to that, because I thought about it. Somebody asked me about it. They said, help me. But I changed my mind. I won't do that. I'm not going to do that. Even if it's profitable, I'm not going to do that." Or you could say, oh, yes, and schedule a conversation with one of the publishers that's on, who does courses or does one-on-one trainings or does consultation. It can happen. So you have a decision to make. But that decision, on May 16th, the Book Business Boss Consulting is sponsoring a panel series, a series of sessions in regards to major topics in the publishing and literary industry. Now, it's virtual this time. I may do it differently, but this is the way God is leading me this time. So the first one is coming up on May 16th, 1 week from today at this airing of this live broadcast. So the Book Business Boss panel number 1 is the publishers panel. Are you ready to be a publisher? So I look forward to a phenomenal conversation. My 2 guests that are going to be with me that evening are Miss Vanessa Collins and Dr. Rhonda Lawson. They each have publishing companies, help people publish. And Dr. Rhonda Lawson does a lot with promotion and PR and all of that good stuff. And I became connected with her with the National Black Book Festival in Houston, Texas. And so that's one of my literary sisters. And you all, most of you who followed me for any time, and if you're new to my personal page, know that Vanessa Collins and I have been in this publishing space, this book space for about 15 years since she relocated here in that divine connection God did 15 years ago when I was singing. And I didn't even know really that somebody was going to ask me, but they did. And so here we are. And we've been growing together and expanding our horizons and putting our wings out there to fly ever since. So Miss Vanessa Collins and Dr. Rhonda Lawson will be with me May 16th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here. So you don't have to go nowhere. Just tune right in to that first publishers panel. Bring your questions. Bring thoughts and ideas, especially if you published a book or even if you're just thinking about it. And because some people, I've thought about it, but I don't have a book published yet, so I don't need to worry about that. Boo, I'm gonna tell you that. This is my first tip of that night. Information, information, information. Training, training, training. Information, training, and more information is going to be the key to success in any area. I don't care what it is, but especially in the literary space. Okay. Join us May 16th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to be pouring in 16 years of experience, and Vanessa has at least 15, 16. So we're talking about more than 30 years. And then Dr. Rhonda Lawson's got 10, 15, 20 years in this game writing and helping people promote. So you're getting close to 50 years of experience. Come, bring your questions, write them down over the next week, and be ready at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It will be aired on Facebook, it will be aired on LinkedIn, and it will be aired on my Book Business Boss YouTube channel. So go to YouTube, and there are already on that YouTube channel 100 ways to be a book business boss. And you can start going through that this week. So we'll be on the Book Business Boss YouTube channel. So go ahead and subscribe there. Also, as my gift, all ready to get you started, go to beabookbusinessboss.com. It's a free download. Did I say free? Yeah, I didn't stumble. I didn't mince my words. I didn't stutter, as the old folk used to say. I meant it. It's a free download. Go to beabookbusinessboss.com. It's a free ebook download of my book, From Author to Entrepreneur. And no, you're not getting ready to get 25. It's not getting ready to go into a 25 email funnel. It's not. It's a thank you, and there you go. Because I want you to, I believe a part of my legacy is to be able to, Tony Robbins says, and Danielle Winningham, my business coach, says the same thing. Success leaves clues. And we should, I'm not going to hoard all of the things that I've learned to myself. I want to help somebody else be better, do better. And if this is an industry or something that you really are interested in and you want to learn more about it, I want to help you get the tools that you need to be able to do that, to be able to not only learn, but to be able to have the mindset for not only this business, but any business. Not only for just the literary space, but there are some nuggets that we're applying as publishers that you need to apply in any space, whether it's beauty, whether it's health and wellness, whether it's being a doctor, engineer, whatever that looks like. There are some mindset tools and tips and steps that you need to have no matter what the industry is. Because, and making sure that you have that in your tool bag before you start out in any industry or even if you say, oh, child, it's just a side hustle. Boo. We learned during the COVID space, during the mighty 2020 pandemic, that side hustle could keep your lights on. That side hustle could keep, your babies fed. That side hustle that you say, oh, child, it's just a side hustle. I don't want the IRS and everybody. Okay, but that side hustle kept a lot of folks' lights on and kept them alive while the jobs were shut down and the restaurants was closed. So don't sleep on it. If you have an interest in it, you really want to learn it, do it well, come with your questions. Be inquisitive. Inquire. Inquiring minds want to know. Inquiring minds also want to be better. If you publish one book or you publish 20 books, it doesn't matter, and people are asking for that and you say no, then let's get some information in you. Let's get some resources so you know exactly what to say and the next steps to what to do. I hope that helps you. I hope you mark your calendar to join us. We're going to be live streaming, having a great time, having a great conversation. Y'all know my interviews and my events are very conversational, but they are also very informative. So I have sought to bring my good friends, my good business sisters along with me so that we can share the wealth, so that we can, how people say all the time, there's nobody out there to help me, nobody, and I can't get no help. And girl, you didn't. Girl, here I am. Tune in. Join me May 16th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so let me just give you a sneak peek. Then coming up in July, oh, wait a minute. I just lost my July. I should have had that right down. See, I tell people all the time to do it, and I didn't do it that time. Oh, July 16th. So it's May 16th. I'm back. July 16th is this is the second panel. And I have three other friends. I'll tell you about them a little bit later at another time. But that is Beyond the Book. So the publishers panel, and then this one is Beyond the Book. We're going to be talking about events, business, all that good stuff, promotion. So mark your calendar for that. Mark your calendar for that. And then the final one is August 13th. The Coach's Coach. How to build a tribe, how to sustain one, how to expand one. Oh yeah, got some good stuff coming up this summer. Because sometimes you need, when I was in teaching, it was always about professional development, learning. And then it was more about learning what you didn't want to do as much as what you do want to do. Success leaves clues, and we're here to leave some huge clues. Not only a clue, but we want you to be informed, educated, trained, so that you can make the decisions for your life. There's decisions to make, there's direction to have, and that's purpose to be lived out. Who knew? I did not know 25 or 30 years I would be here helping and publishing and helping other people publish their books. Who knew that that one poetry book from Cheryl Turner would turn into more than 400? I did not know. Who knew that that one poetry book that I wrote just because God told me to get out the notebooks and type them up, and that's your book, it's time for you to get the book done, would turn into 93? So, who knew? But sometimes it just takes one step. Sometimes it just takes one online event. Sometimes it takes one webinar. It takes one call. It takes one email. It takes one opportunity to totally change your life. Are you willing to do it? It's free. Join in. Bring your questions. Get your answers. Get some, hopefully, connection with people who can help you move your life to the next level, especially if you want to be in the literary space. Let's see who's on with us tonight. Hey, Risa. Yeah, I did. Okay, wonderful. Yeah, I'm ready when they are. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for being my scribe. May 16th is July 16th and August 13th. Yeah, not June, but July 16th and then August 13th. So I'm Dr. Joy Royson. Thank you so much for being with me this evening. Even if you didn't leave a comment, I appreciate you tuning in. And of course, those of you who are on the replay, I appreciate you as well. Share it, encourage other people to join in, and be blessed by it. Bring your questions, bring your questions, bring your questions, and get them answered. I'm Dr. Julia Royston of BK Royston Publishing, Royal Media and Publishing, and the Book Business Boss Consulting, helping you get your message to the masses, turn your words into wealth, and be a book business boss. See you next week. Bye-bye.